and welcome back to On the Moon, Bundesliga edition.
Germany. I wore my
Bundesliga,
jersey for it. This is the Bundes
Bundesliga,
episode. So for
young
the
Bundy.
Bundesliga episode, I wore my Germany jersey. The only thing I don't like is when they put the little FIFA World Champ stuff in the middle of the jerseys. They need to stop that, okay? Like, don't ruin a good jersey by doing that. You know what I mean? I hate that. I do. That's one major complaint I have with just FIFA, because FIFA's the one that does it. I was about to say.
I mean, chances are they're just going to win a chip and go to Nike anyway, right? So, yeah.
No, but Adidas is from Germany, so you know the Germans are going to stay.
Right. Oh, yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
that's true. Yeah,
the Germans are going to stay.
It's
going to be Adidas forever. They've always been Adidas. Even when I think about Adidas shoes or cleats, I think of like all the old German greats. You know what I mean? So
Kobe went to Germany to get PRP. So this is the closest German thing that I could find was a Kobe shirt. Yeah. I show you my Lederhosen, but we might get kicked off of YouTube for that.
Oh man, everybody's got to get kicked off YouTube once, at least once. Yeah.
All right, so this episode is all about sports being back, and when I say sports are back, I just mean, well, the Bundesliga's back. Because we're not going to count the other leagues, the other shit leagues. We're just not going to count them whether they're back or not. We talked about Korean. We talked about Korean baseball last week, and then Korean soccer also started back up. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about.
I saw some Korean baseball. It was actually spitball.
Well, we're going to talk about one of the top leagues in the world starting back up. And they are also in the center of Europe, so I think it's important to highlight.
Wait. Are you guys fans of any of the teams in the Bundesliga? Just real quick. I know that I didn't mean to interrupt you, but just
Like offhand, no.
Not really. Just offhand. Like, which team do you follow the most? Is all I mean. You don't have. I don't mean you have to be a super fan. I'm not even a super fan. Off top, nothing. I would say Dortmund. I'm a Dortmund.
I like following the action, man, mostly. Dortmund's cool. A lot of these cats are fun to watch. You know, I don't have a big rooting interest like I do for, like, Liverpool. You know, I'm not as invested. But
no, of course not.
It's so, like, the whole league in general is fun to watch, man.
I just meant if you were going to pick one team, because there's some good teams there, like Leipzig and, yeah, and I mean.
So I'm trying to get into Chivas, Germany.
What?
Cologne, Chivas, Germany. I could get behind that kind of club for sure.
I never even thought about that, but that's hilarious.
They're the Chivas.
That is Chivas, Germany. That is Chivas, Germany. I wonder how you say Chivas in German now. That's awesome. I gotta learn that. But no, anyways, BVB. Okay, continue, Nate. My bad.
Man, finally. So the main reason why we're doing this episode is to talk about all the things that the Bundesliga is going to implement in order to get started back up safely. I think it's important to highlight these things, mainly because not only are they one of the biggest sports leagues in the world, but they are also in an area of the world that got hit very hard with the virus. So I think it's important that if their model is a success, I believe that a lot of other sports leagues around the world will base a lot of what they do on what works for the Bundesliga. And the NFL, NBA, MLS, MLB, they all got their eyes on Bundesliga for sure. I mean, and not only the American leagues, but the EPL, La Liga, Serie A, all of them.
Major leagues, pretty much.
Everybody's looking in on this.
Yeah.
So
boxing, all of that.
Yeah, boxing, sure. UFC, everybody. So I think it's very important that we kind of cover some of these things, because some of these things we might be seeing close to home very soon, right?
Right.
So just for some background about the Bundesliga, the last game they played was on March 11th, and that was the last match day. but training started back up the last week of March, and majority of the teams got back in the first week of April. So teams have been training, but it hasn't been big groups like the whole squad, 11 versus 11, physical contact. It's just been, hey, if you play on the left side, you know, you're a left back and left winger, then you're going to do these drills. So right. So they're
like
just
segregated training pretty much.
Based on your position and location on the field. So that's what a lot of teams have been doing. I believe this is the first week of physical contact again. So, yeah. But
it's been weeks since I've had any physical contact.
Well,
maybe I should join the Bundes, right?
You're perfect for the Bundes. Yeah. Oh man.
So
okay.
The games are going to be played with no fans. But unlike what the Premier League is talking about, teams will still get to play in their own arenas, but just empty arenas. So the Premier League.
Why do you think that is, though?
Well, the Premier League wants to play at neutral venues in order to keep the fans from pulling up. So like they would do.
Up, yeah.
So it's like if it was Liverpool versus United, it's like they would do that shit at Wembley. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can just do everything.
Right. That makes sense. Right,
they already do everything.
Right. So it's like what they're thinking about doing is just well, the Premier League is they just want to keep the fans coming down. But one way that Germany has thought about getting past that is that if your home supporters show up, you're going to forfeit the game. And that's what I've read. I haven't actually confirmed that and seen that confirmed yet. But to me, that's a pretty good way of keeping people out of the, away from the stadium.
That's the best way, actually. I like that.
I mean, especially when you look at the table, Dortmund is down 4 points from Bayern. RB Leipzig is down 1 point from them, and then I think it's Schalke is next, is down a point, something like that. So it's like really, really tight up at the top. Every spot is up for grabs with 8 games left to play. So, I mean, there's some really interesting things about to happen in that league, and I think not only from a fan perspective, like, is it going to be fun to watch, especially because most of us that are going to be watching it are neutrals, right? I mean, like, you just ask who do we root for, and it's like, I don't fucking know. I'm rooting for whoever's going to sell Liverpool the cheapest, most fire player.
Right, for sure.
That's who I'm for. That's what I'm for. But there are also a lot of American U.S. players that play in the Bundesliga. I mean, the Bundes has been pretty good at developing U.S. talent over the last couple of years. So I think we're gonna be able to get to watch those guys, which should be fun and something to look forward to, especially for the next generation of the U.S. men's national team. But one thing I want to know from you guys, all right? Okay, so the games are going to be played with no fans in attendance, right? However, some teams like Borussia Mönchengladbach, I tried. I don't know if I butchered it. I tried.
Yeah.
Mönchengladbach.
Good effort.
But they're offering their supporters a chance to buy cardboard or plastic cutouts with their pictures on it for $20. So what I want to know from you guys is if you had the ability to buy a seat or a cardboard cutout, first of all, how many of them would you buy? And second of all, what image would you put? Would you put yourself in the game or would you put something else in the game? So I just want to know like what you guys think.
I'd put a bunch of characters in the game. I'd put a bunch of characters in the game. It'd be awesome. It'd be delicious. I'd put both MJs, Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson, somewhere. You know what I mean?
Both
I'd put
MJs. The only MJs, as far as I'm concerned.
I'll put Miles Davis somewhere. We'll have Jimi Hendrix somewhere. We'll be ripping. Jimmy Page across the other side. If we could pick seats, of course. I don't know if we could pick seats. I don't know if they'll let us go that far, but yeah, I'd do crazy stuff like that.
For $20, you definitely get nosebleed seats, man.
Yeah,
your cardboard is getting nosebleed seats for $20.
For $20. They're just putting me in a fake in a parked car, and they're just sitting me in the parked car outside the stadium.
Are they gonna make the cardboard cutouts sit 6 feet apart?
Oh yeah, of course.
I hope so.
They're gonna make them holding their hands out.
Like, yeah, man. How many can I buy? I want as many as I can. I want one that I could take with me in the carpool lane. I want Vader in a Leverkusen jersey. Yeah, whatever. I'll give me all the
wrestling.
All of it. All of it.
Awesome.
You never had those fat heads, Chewy? You guys remember those fat heads? Those NFL fat heads where they would stick these giant vinyl stickers, slap them on the fucking wall?
I had a little one that was like this big. It was Dwight Howard.
Oh, yeah. I remember. We got those at Dick's, I think, one time. Yeah. At Dick's Sporting.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. I do remember that fat head. No, I had
nothing from a place called Dick's.
Terrible. I actually ripped the little. He had a basketball in his hand, and I ripped the basketball off, and I put it over my laptop camera. It was right after all the Snowden shit happened, and I was like, "Oh well, maybe this would be a good place to put it."
That's funny, but that one was Dwight. Prime Dwight too.
Yeah, it was Orlando Magic Dwight. Yeah.
Yo, there was people were really asking like, who are you starting your season with? Who are you starting your team with? Dwight Howard or LeBron James? Like that was a real conversation people were having before.
That's a stupid conversation.
Yeah, now, for sure. But like, it was a real conversation, man.
Oh wait, when? What are
Lakers
you talking
answered
about?
that. Lakers answered that actually.
Dwight Hibbert was an all-star, bro. Like it wasn't that long ago that the league was about big men. Roy Hibbert himself, Mr. 7'2" and walking, get zero rebounds, 0 points in the game. That guy was an all-star.
Even prime Dwight, no, that would be enough.
That guy's going to the Hall of Fame. Look, I like Dwight now. I'm not that guy. I don't want to be that guy defending Dwight Howard. Look. You know what I'm saying? I have no nice things to say. He definitely worked his way back.
Prior actions were unjustifiable, but he is balling out now. Like I'm happy he figured it out and was just like, all right.
I'm still hurt for how that season went. So
anyway. The way he played LA. But you got to remember too, a lot of that nastiness also happened because the Buss family were begging. Why were we begging? I need to beg nobody to stay here, bro.
You're trying to save Kobe's last season, man.
That's annoying. Yeah, but that's annoying. We never need to beg a superstar to come to the Lakers. You either come or you don't, man. Like, we're already legendary. Like, go try to make some other franchise legend.
Yo, that's a whole nother episode, bro.
I was gonna say, so let's get
Kobe Bryant. This is a whole nother episode.
I should have never said nothing about no Dwight Howard fathead, man. I should have never said nothing about Dwight Howard shit. Nothing. Never mind. We're gonna skip the whole fathead discussion. How about that?
Some people just don't know how to act around basketball talk. I'm saying, man. Damn. All right, let's go.
All right. So back to the Bundesliga and some of these things that they're going to be doing to reopen so we can get live sports again. So let's see, where did I leave off? Awesome. So last thing we talked about was
no fans.
Right, no fans. Yeah, that's terrible. But okay.
I mean that's awesome. I think it's fun. I think that was a great idea. And I heard that money's going to charity too, so that's even better. Yep. That makes me want to buy even more.
Actually, it is going to charity. That's right. Local charities too at that, so it's gonna help their local community.
That makes me want to buy even more.
So it works. I agree.
Like some guy just mooning the field. Right. That would be an awesome cutout.
All right. So as far as testing goes, players and staff are tested twice a week. In match day weeks, the players are tested the day prior to a match and on another occasion during the week. In double match weeks, players will be tested before both matches. And they are given 2 tests every time, and that's a nose and a throat test to help prevent false results. So they're just getting as much data as they can to make sure that they're right. Because if you do have a positive test, you're going to have to go on a 14-day quarantine period of lockdown. So I think they're going to be working really hard at trying to keep players from getting sick. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what really happens here. But I think I think it's a step in the right direction. You got to test them. You got to keep you. That's the thing, is you're gonna have to stay on testing because people are gonna do whatever the hell they want anyway. They're gonna.
Well, didn't some players recently catch it in the Bundesliga? Right.
Yeah, lower division.
I mean,
lower division.
Still,
Yeah.
that's in Germany, right? That's a point.
Right. So
it's still happening. It hasn't just magically gone away.
People are gonna get it regardless, no matter what. People are always gonna get it.
Yeah.
So until they come up with some kind of cure for it, this is just how it's gonna proceed going forward. I'm pretty sure. But so players are not allowed to have physical contact with their neighbors or the public and must respect the 6-foot social distancing rule. And they are not allowed visitors at their house and prohibited from using public transport. So there are a lot of players in the second division and lower division. Even I think there's a player in the first division that was using public transport to get to the game. So they're going to be banned from all that.
So that means no Kyle Walker sex parties in Germany going on.
No, sorry. No. No. Sorry. No. I know you're trying to make it. I know you RSVP, but
I'm trying to have to change. I guess I'm gonna have to change my my schedule for June.
Oh,
you know,
man.
I have to make new plans in June. My bad.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So,
well, that all seems pretty reasonable enough, I guess.
Right. I'm not seeing an issue with any of this, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, people are gonna get sick. That's not an okay standard for me. Like, I just want to avoid like that. I don't want that to be okay, like a thing. Well, some people are just gonna get sick. I mean, but the precautions they're taking seems pretty reasonable so far. I mean, I'm glad at least Germany's taking the first crack at it. I mean, I have no doubt they'll have it working like a finely tuned machine. But yeah, I mean, you did mention somebody in the second division got it. So
Yeah.
I just wonder, if people do start to get ill, you kind of wonder what the number is where it becomes impossible to continue.
Yeah, I mean, 8 games. A good question. That's a good question. That's definitely a good question. They haven't really spoken on that. I think they're just trying to look at it in a positive light, and hopefully that these things will go through. I'm sure they have some sort of threshold that they're looking at, but so far that hasn't been announced, and maybe the reporters haven't even asked that question yet. So I'm sure it'll come out within the next week. We'll know for sure what the idea is going forward. But
there's definitely got to be plenty of preventative maintenance measures happening. You know what I mean? Otherwise, they wouldn't even proceed. But it almost kind of makes sense to me that the Germans would kind of solve all of those technical problems. You know what I mean? And attempt it before anybody else. You know what I mean? It makes sense to me, and I don't think they're doing it in any type of foolish way, just based on the history of their thinking, right? And so it is interesting to also see it from that standpoint, to see this is the gateway or pretty much the mirror for the rest of all major sports to look at so that they could bring it back here. You know what I mean? And we can get our sports back as well. You know what I mean?
I wonder how the players feel about it, if they're comfortable with it, or if they even get a say. So, do they have like a players union? I don't know,
but that's
I'm sure it's a mixed. Yeah, I'm sure it's a mixed bed.
Oh, you know what I mean? 14-day
there's
quarantine.
Guys that are like, oh, so happy to play, and some that are like, I don't know, like this is a little crazy, y'all. Like, and of course it's gonna feel crazy because it's gonna be, it is gonna be even most surreal to the players. You know what I mean? Because they're still gonna be in those empty stadiums playing. You know what I mean? Some guys, it's gonna be a washover for them. They're gonna be like, whatever, I'm just gonna come out here and ball. But some guys, it's really gonna mess with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
what about the guys that are just sitting on the bench mostly? I mean, the reserves for sure. You know, they're used to being part of the crowd. Now they are the only crowd.
Yeah, that's true. So, continuing on here, all referees will be tested the day prior to matches and are asked to refrain from posting on social media accounts. I have no idea what that means. I don't understand that. Yeah, that's the part I don't
I think some
understand.
of these refs are a little loose with their, with their content. Well, okay, I get it. 14-day quarantine, refs are being tested. That answers the question of what if and when. Obviously, somebody tests positive. Okay.
Wait, but you think they're just not allowed on social media because they're what? Because
loose lips sink ships, man.
Oh my gosh, you think the refs are really busting that? Oh.
I mean, hey, just trying to keep a tight ship, man.
I guess, yeah, that makes sense. But it should. But I also thought that was odd. I didn't know what to think about it. I was like, what's that even?
Yeah, that's just strange to me. Maybe it's like a safety precaution in terms of like if when you post on social media, savvy computer guys can look up your location, right, through metadata from a picture or something, right? So maybe they could get your location and come get you sick, and in turn you get, the opposing players sick or whatever it is. I mean, maybe they're just trying to, try to keep the refs safe.
That makes sense.
That's the only thing I could think of, because other than that,
you just gotta cover all bases. Like obviously these guys aren't gonna be allowed to work, so
right.
They don't want. They're trying to stop a crazy story from starting. But just cover all bases. I get it. That I get. I guess. Yeah.
But it's basically like the girl, don't let your stalker know where you are. You know what I mean? By posting what club or what bar you're at.
I think I read too somewhere that some of these clubs are going to be staying like in hotels close to their stadiums. They have kind of quarantined. Some of the smaller clubs get hotels by their stadium. Some of the bigger clubs, they got their own facilities, right? So, they know where they're going to be, if I found out. I know these guys know where they're going to be.
Yeah, so some teams are going to be at their facilities. So a team like Leipzig or Bayern, like they're going to be at their facilities because they have massive facilities. I think Dortmund is going to where their youth and their women's teams train at. And a lot of the other teams are staying at hotels near their stadiums. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes for them. Everybody's in different positions where that goes. But as far as like a unified plan for match days, the German Football Association, the DFL, has prepared a dynamic personnel plan, right? Which says that a maximum.
That sounds efficient.
Yeah. Well, it's German. What do you expect?
Yeah, that sounds uber efficient. Yes.
It says that a maximum of 322 people are permitted in and around the stadiums for the matches. This group includes the players, coaches, referees, camera crews, anti-doping officials, stewards, security, ground staff, and ball boys. And then each one, there's a specific amount, which I'm actually not going to get into because that's always going to vary by league, right? By team, by league, whatever. So, or by sport. So I'm not going to get into the individuals of how many that they're allowing, but they're going with a total of 322 people, and they all have to have their temperature checked once they get there. Mm-hmm. And if they are deemed a risk, they automatically get sent home. So I'm assuming that they have like other people on standby. So if the camera dude is sick, they got another camera guy on standby, on call, I guess. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, right?
I mean, that makes sense. Right? Yeah.
So
I know for sure they got a lot of media guys out there, though. More media guys than players.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty
sure.
More
TV cameras than players.
I'm pretty sure. But for that, I mean, that pretty much covers most of it. One other thing is that the Bundesliga actually told all the clubs on Friday that after goal celebrations or anything else, that the players, they are allowed to celebrate, but they can't celebrate together, right? So they still have to practice some sort of social distancing. I don't agree with, because They're already in the game.
It's gonna be
They're
easy.
already bumping into
Cristiano.
each other. They're already touching each other.
Yeah.
They touch the same ball. They everything, right? Like sweats flying everywhere on everybody. So this I don't agree with. If they're already on the pitch, they've already been tested. We already know the get down. Let them play. Like just this isn't the NFL. Let them
I
celebrate.
wonder more how they're gonna enforce it though. Like, how are you gonna stop that?
Not
anyway?
the NFL, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like, you can't just throw a flag.
Yeah, this is
How you
kind of
gonna
whack,
stop that?
but I mean,
no, a free kick, that'd be whack.
They're
Like, come
saying
on.
that only short contact with elbow or foot is permitted.
What?
So they're just gonna be like sea walking, throwing bows with each other, I guess.
get Dub C out there.
Ew.
Yeah,
And
I don't
that
know.
could get dangerous.
Clickety-clackety
I'm not really.
Like, what is that?
I'm not really feeling this one. This is probably the only one of these that I don't really agree
Okay,
with.
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's kind of
kinda
whack.
weird.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm gullible. Maybe I can be talked into supporting it, but I kind of feel, yeah, you mentioned it. It feels like when the NFL was restricting player celebrations. You remember that after a touchdown?
Yeah, remember
So,
Ocho Cinco, all his celebrations. He would get the pylon, and hit the man.
Popcorn.
Yeah, well that was
Yeah.
T.O., but yeah.
Oh, that was.
Yeah.
He put the Hall of Fame jacket on.
So I
In the
mean,
middle.
I get it, right? Like,
Yeah, Ocho was crazy. He proposed to the cheerleader. Remember that? He was wilded, man. I loved it.
That's
I
that
love some
boy.
Ocho Cinco. I still love Ocho Cinco. Do you know Ocho Cinco's a hardcore football fan too?
Yeah,
A soccer
he's a
fan?
super
Football.
FIFA
Yeah.
fan too.
oh, he's always on FIFA.
yeah, always on
handing
FIFA.
L's, handing out L's on FIFA, asking for challenges for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But,
He's out
yo,
there. He's
so-
out there.
Yo, be safe. There's people at home watching. You gotta set some sort of example, right? You're the first ones out there.
Yep.
I don't know, but good luck, dude. I'm not trying to corral anybody's excitement. Seeing these players like overcome with emotion and celebrate with their mates, it's like it's part of what makes this sport so fun to watch. It's so easy to connect the fan with the pro athlete. Like,
Right.
you see my man's back here with the smile. You see Salah back here giving the full devotion. Like, I have those feelings, man.
Devotion.
I know what that's like.
The
You know.
full devotion.
Man.
But yeah, again, that's stating the obvious, but it's a contact sport. You can't. They're not making any changes to like the game, right? You're not gonna outlaw tackling or putting hands on someone. I doubt any of the players are gonna be reluctant to get close to one another. Just take your corners quickly, and it won't be an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
What about
I
you,
like
Chewy?
that.
What are your thoughts about this list of stuff?
Like, basically all of it makes sense. Just the same as you. All of it makes sense to me except for that, like, no contact at the end. Like, what's the point of all of the ones that you said preceding that one for that to just be like, oh yeah, but don't touch each other?
Right.
Like,
It doesn't make sense.
we restricted everybody to like 300 people here. We're testing everybody at every second. We'll pull up on you and test you while you're running on the pitch. We don't care. And then they're like, but don't touch nobody. What? Like, that doesn't make sense. You guys are crazy.
Like, I wonder if they're gonna have a VAR for if you fail a test. Like, no, I need a VAR.
Well,
I need that assistant referee.
But for me, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think, like, how are they going to be able to enforce it? I think it's just going to start happening. And naturally,
They can't enforce that.
Just like the NFL eventually even let of course, that took years to let the touchdown celebrations back in. But still, this is going to happen a lot quicker because they're going to realize, how come we not let them embrace? You know what I mean? It's kind of like what we need to see right now, even as a society, based on what's going on. Like, let's see something like that. Like, people enjoying themselves doing something together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So, yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums up all that about these, what they plan to do. But another thing I wanted to note was there's actually a couple really good, really young USA players in the Bundesliga right now that are starting to play big roles for their clubs. And if for the people that are watching, like, if you never watched Bundesliga or if you never even watched soccer, you don't really care, or you're just really interested on seeing like, what Team USA has in store for the future, I think it's worth like highlighting a couple players here. Um, so Chewy said he likes Dortmund, and he rolls with Dortmund. That's like his little C. We'll call it a C squad because his B squad is Inter, right? So
Yeah.
so we'll call it your like C or
International.
your D
Yeah.
squad. Like just one of those other little squads down there. But
Yeah.
so for them,
like, I
they
don't follow
have
them too hard, but I enjoy what they bring to the table.
so
Yeah, man, I
they
like the way they play.
they actually have a player that is the son of a former U.S. men's national team captain. And
Hmm.
not only that, he's also the youngest player to ever play in the Bundesliga, and that's Giovanni Reina. So,
Yeah, Gio Reyna. Yeah.
I mean,
I
Gio's
mean,
really dope for a youngster. He got some, man. If that's what USA's got to look forward to, like, I'm pretty happy because that kid can ball, man. For 17 to be
he's really
starting on,
good. Not
not starting, but to
oof.
be playing for Dortmund, like,
Not only is he really good already, but it's like I think Pulisic this time just kind of really opened the door
right.
for like players to get over the mental barrier of just being in another country, being the American player, which is the most oddest thing to say. In any other sport, that means you're probably one of the top 5 players on the team, just being the American alone, but not in European football. So, I mean, it makes it easier for these kids, the American kids, now to assimilate to the European game and actually learn some things. You know what I mean? That they can bring back to soccer on, our national ground, which I think
Mothers
makes
don't
it
let your
exciting.
sons play football. all of our best athletes need to start playing soccer. It's no fun, man. I don't.
That's
It's
kind of
There's too many injuries, bro. The head trauma is real. I'm not trying to bring the the vibe down, but mothers don't let your kids play football. Let them play football.
there you go. That's the Mother's Day tip of the day, I think.
Hey,
You know
Just
what?
call
Let
it
them
the
play.
Mother's Day
Let
tip.
them play football. Let them play both football, but don't let them play contact football. Make sure they're playing flag football. Let them play a little bit of flag.
for sure.
Ain't nothing wrong with flag football.
That arena football be wild in too sometimes, but why do they
Little
always have some
sideline pop
crazy
at PE.
games like the neon alligators?
Well,
Yeah.
But
So
okay,
yeah,
so another player that actually has a lot of quite a few U.S. men's national team appearances. I think he's 21 or 22. I'm not exactly sure. I should have probably wrote that down. But he plays for the team that Oscar tweeted that he might be supporting, and that's RB Leipzig. So uh, he came up. Oh, I didn't even say his name, huh? Tyler Adams. So
Tyler Adams. See, I never heard of him.
Tyler
That
Adams,
I don't know.
he played in the USL, right, which is a lower division. For those that don't know, that's a lower division in the United States. It's the division just under MLS. He played for New York Red Bulls affiliate, I believe, and then made his way up to the Red Bulls in New York, and then got the offer to go out to Leipzig, right? So just staying in the Red Bull family, but working really, really hard. This kid is really good. He plays like that 6 role. He's just kind of the pivot. Yeah, I think he's worth watching too. So for you guys out there, Tyler Adams. Yeah.
Tyler Adams. I like that.
Right.
It's a good tip.
So now
And
we're
Leipzig have been really good this year too.
yeah, they have.
Leipzig
Oh yeah.
is
Oh,
good.
I mean, they're in 3rd place. They're only trailing
Mhm.
Bayern by 5 points, trailing, Dortmund by 1 point. They've allowed only 26 goals, which is the same amount that Bayern allowed. They have a better goal difference than Dortmund, and they're only 1 point behind them. So, well, we'll get to that in a
See, yeah,
second.
they've
We'll
been
get to that
cooking
in a
it up
second,
a
though.
little bit.
But
There's this dude Weston McKinney. That's a guy I'm kind of like looking. I'm interested in looking more into, strictly for selfish reasons, because I know his name was brought up as like a potential young replacement for Genie. whose contract is up soon. So just kind of one of the names that we're throwing about. So that's one of the guys I'm actually kind of interested in looking into. The fact that he's from Texas,
So
out there balling up with these boys.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Okay.
Oh, secret sauce.
You got
some Genie contract news you breaking on the pod?
No. When I start a FIFA career, there are only 2 U.S. players that I go after for my squad, right?
Okay.
One of them is Weston McKennie, and the other is Timothy Weah, right? So those are the 2 guys that I like to go for when I start a FIFA squad. 1, because they're cheap. 2, they grow into really good starting players. So they work out for me very well. But that's a little inside secret. So next time you're playing on that FIFA 19 or FIFA 20.
Waiting for 20 to waiting for 20 to drop.
Well, 20 already been dropped. Player.
21, my bad, 21 to drop.
Say you trying to wait for the price to drop? Because, okay. But, yeah, that's just a little secret. I love Weston McKennie. You know what? He does kind of remind me of Genie. I mean, he's not that same. He doesn't handle the ball like Genie does, right? Like, it's hard to get the ball from Genie, right? I mean, the way he can move the ball in a little bit of space is I mean, that's world-class shit, right? So he's not that. There you go.
Hey!
Genie,
it's the best song.
But I love Weston McKennie, man. Like, he's one of my favorites to put in my midfield on FIFA.
Excellent.
I'm actually really excited to watch him play this weekend. But one of these other guys I got on this list. I don't know if we mentioned it, but Weston McKennie plays for Schalke. So if you're watching the Schalke games, look out for Weston McKennie.
FC Schalke.
But one of the other guys that I like is Josh Sargent. He plays for Werder Bremen. And, dude, he's fire. He's like a little ginger kid, but this motherfucker can score, man. Hey, like, he looks like he should be playing for the Ireland national team, to be honest. Like, when I first saw him, I was like, wait, what? And then, like, I watched him play, and I'm like, oh, like,
Andy Dalton.
He's he scored, I think, like 30 something goals for the under-17 team, like when he was playing on there, like for a United States national team, some shit like that. Like, crazy, like some crazy number for under-17s.
Oh, like, he didn't even mention he's got like a fro.
Yeah, he got like a ginger. He got a ginger fro. My bad. He got a ginger fro. Yeah, beast though.
Yeah.
If you see that link that I sent you guys, it's a sick ass goal that he scored. It's fire. But so Gio Reyna of Dortmund, Tyler Adams of RB Leipzig, Weston McKennie of Schalke, and Josh Sargent of Werder Bremen. Those are the kids to watch. Those are the ones that you should be looking out for if you're a U.S. fan and you don't know nothing about the Bundesliga. You don't know what team to root for. You know what? Don't root for a team. Just root for these kids and wait for the Premier League to start and watch a real league.
No, man, let me tell you something. Get your Bundes on, man. God damn it.
Get your Bundes
Wherever you are out there, get your Bundes on. Come on. Support that. So like we got to.
I got a couple questions after covering all that stuff for you guys. I think I'm going to hit you guys. I might ask you both the same question, and I might just move on from a question. So we'll see how it goes. But, Chewy, the first question is going to be for you.
Oh, shit.
So, straight up,
right.
What are you most looking forward to about the Bundesliga restart?
Just the final race between Dortmund and Bayern. That's it.
Okay.
Because that's always an interesting race, even though I'll be honest, I think Bayern pretty much has it sealed up. But Dortmund's just that one team where they're good enough to actually win the title very easily. But, I mean, will they really do it? No, they usually fall apart at the end. They're that team that just makes it to the playoffs, but just loses every time. And sometimes even breaks into the championship, finally breaks into the Super Bowl one time, and then just ruins it. You know? They're that team. You know what I mean? Unfortunately. But
I know about teams like that.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I know about teams like that too. It breaks my heart.
All right. So, Oscar, what about you? What are you most looking forward to about this restart?
Gambling. Fucking gambling, bro. Trying to get my chickens up, son.
Right.
Gambling and goals, bro. That's what I'm looking forward to. Gambling and goals. Yo, Leverkusen and I'm gonna just cut it. Gladbach have been cashing in this season. So, like, I've had a little bit of money sitting in my sports book that I've been just trying to, like, itching to use. I couldn't get into Korean baseball. I sprinkled a little something on the Henry Cejudo fight, and then Ngannou fight last night. A little something on NFL futures, just because I have zero self-control. But I digress.
This is awesome.
There just isn't another league right now that can replicate the kind of action that the Bundes has to offer. They got more goals per game, fewer games, fewer goalless games than any other league. It's just what wide open football looks like. And I just want to get back to making money, bro. Like, that's simply. I mean, I want to get back to making money. Did I mention they have a Holland? If you know, Dortmund's one of the highest scoring teams in Europe, and this guy's appointment viewing. So that's there's that too. I mean,
Holland is the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited too that there's new eyes on the sport. People who would normally be paying attention to footy are going to be watching because there's nothing else on. So yeah, maybe we can make some new fans. So let's get it going. Let's get these chickens up, son. Save your chickens.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I
wasn't expecting that, but I like that.
I think what I'm actually most looking forward to is actually getting a better look at all these young guys that we just mentioned. I really want to see what United States can do going forward, and I think these four guys are really the key to what they're going to do next, along with Pulisic and Weah and a couple others. But I'm really interested in looking at them. But what I'm really interested in is watching Timo Werner play, because if he's going to come to Liverpool, I want to see what the boy's about. I mean, I can't body him up like Jordan and Pippen did Kukoc, but you know what I mean? Like, I definitely imagine we just he had to play a game against Virgil just real quick before shit went down. Like, he had to play against Virgil and Milner. Like, okay, have fun. Like, no. But yeah, so that's what I'm most looking forward to, I think, going forward is getting to see what the United States youth team, or not youth team, but the United States national team is going to be able to do with these young kids at the helm, and I want to see Timo Werner. But so moving on, let's see. I asked you first last time, right, Chewy? So I'll ask you this time.
Yeah.
I'll ask you, Oscar. So Bayern is 4 points clear of Dortmund with 9 games left to play. Do you see an upset looming, or will Bayern win for the 8th time in a row?
I mean, Bayern is just so much better than the rest of the league, right? I mean, they're leading in goals, assists, shots, shutouts, goals conceded. They feel like a lock to win the Salad Bowl, man. They were hitting their stride before games were suspended. They won something like 9 out of their last 10. The one that they didn't win was like a 0-0 draw against Leipzig in early February. So there's only a handful of games left, right? 4 of them are scheduled against teams that are outside of the top 10. You got Union Berlin, Frankfurt, Dusseldorf, and Werder Bremen. And, it's not like Friedberg is going to give them, is going to give them any real trouble. So they really need to have a complete collapse to hold on to their top spot. But I mean, I'll be rooting for anybody to topple the Giants. I just don't see it happening.
It's close. At least it's closer than most other leagues. You know what I mean? It's not already ran
closer than the Prem, that's for sure.
I mean, because I think if Bayern had already ran away with it, we would also kind of kill the effect of it coming back and being and about to be the most watched sporting event out there right now. So I think it helps that they can at least sell a title race a little bit. You know what I mean? People be like, whoa, they'll get to see what that's about. And who knows if maybe
they could sell it, but I don't feel it.
Too. But what if that helps turn it up for the players too? Like it makes it feel like Champions League now. You know what I mean? Like at least in the way everybody would be watching it for sure.
I mean, yeah, there's still a lot of questions out there, right? Like, how intense was training? Who's in shape? How are the lack of fans gonna affect people? But I don't see it, man. These guys are just too good.
So, do either one of you guys see Leipzig as a threat at being a third-party spoiler, as it were?
I do.
The libertarian and all this? Is that what it is?
I do, because I think they were first or second at one point in this season.
I think
already.
early at some point of the season they were for sure. Yeah, because Bayern
so
struggled early, right?
So was Gladbach. Yeah, so was Gladbach. So it's like it's the same thing.
Okay.
I'd love to see Leipzig topple the Giants, man. But I mean, I'm alongside everybody else in that camp. I just don't see it happening. So long as it doesn't conflict with me getting my chickens. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, I'm only gonna give you the most sensible shit. That's it. Yeah. I'm not playing. Get your money up.
So just with that thought in your head, let's rewind then. So during the last presidential election, Hillary Clinton was the straight up favorite, right?
In betting?
In betting. Straight up favorite. Would you have put money? I'm not even going to ask you, did you put money? But would you put money on Hillary Clinton back then, or would you have put it on the underdog, Donald Trump?
I would have put it on Hillary.
Right?
Yeah, I would absolutely put 100.
And
what happened, Chewy, what happened the day before and the election? What did I tell you?
Like it flopped. You saw that the sharps, everything just fucking dropped. It was a move. It was just a giant shift. And then that's when you knew that you kind of lost. And you said that, and I'm a betting man, so I understood everything that happened in the shift of the line, how far it went the other direction. I was like, normally that's it. It's the other fucking side's winning. The sharps were moving the line the whole time, heavy.
Well, it didn't really move much. Like if you go back and look at it, it really didn't move much. But I remember
for a presidential election. First of all, it's just crazy that there's a line on a presidential election.
Well, there's always a line on everything. There's a line on everything, bro.
So no, I know. But
the thing was, I remember telling you like
necessary.
We should put money on Donald Trump because it's a win. It's a win-win. I mean, and if not, then it's a lose-lose, right? It's like a win-lose either way, right? Like, one, I win money, but then Trump becomes president, right? And then if he loses, then, well, I lost money, but Trump didn't become president, right? So it was like, it really wasn't a loss to be had there. Maybe a monetary loss if you lost, but I was trying to put money on Trump, and you didn't want to do it. I was like, we should do it.
You were also a more but because you were also a more sensible man because you were an early gambler. When you're an early gambler, the game, you're not overthinking it as much as like someone like me is. And I was just like, no, that doesn't make sense.
That's true.
It didn't make sense from a gambling standpoint. We just proved it. We told you we would have put it on Hillary. Like, nah, hell nah.
Felipe Coutinho is my
position, but you called
my soccer Dwight Howard. So I'm rooting for those cats. Don't even get me started. I'm rooting for them to be toppled. My money's on Lewandowski and that boy Mueller, but I don't see it. I don't see it, man.
You don't see the topple.
And you know what? Hillary's a safe bet. You don't always bet on,
No, you don't always.
It seemed like a safe bet right at the time.
in that moment, like Nate's trying to convince me. Nate's trying to convince me. I was just like,
Nate's still trying to get you to vote Libertarian right now. He's not slick. That's what this.
I was just trying.
But he made the right call. He made the right call. I got to give it to him. He made the right call on that one. But it was still like in that moment, it was just like I'm not trying to be.
It was like,
anything, but
bro. It was like plus 250. It was like plus 250
to draw money right now.
It was plus 250.
And that's why
at the time I didn't have an account. See, I didn't have my own like sports book to go to. Like I was kind of going through his. I was going through his. He had his own, whatever, whoop de whoop. So my thing was like, okay, like
I got him an account with my bookie. Yeah.
After that, and I was like, well, fuck. Now I'm just gonna lose money. I could have made money that night.
Yeah, exactly.
You live and you learn, player. You live and you learn.
I suppose. I'm not sure what better.
But I've had many misses and I've had many hits. That's how gambling works.
I don't do it
Sometimes
anymore.
you do hit on those.
But you live to bet another game.
You live to bet another game.
Hell yeah, we definitely did. I was just like, damn, Nate called that shit, man. We would have balled out on that. Would have balled out on that. Would have been nice.
So I mean, I guess
that wasn't our money.
I guess that pretty much covers everything. We pretty much talked about everything that we had planned. So if you guys are good, I'm good. Unless there's something, anybody got a question to throw out there or a thought?
Well, I seen a murder hornet eat a mouse on TMZ. I mean, I expect TMZ to always surprise me, even though I don't watch it. I don't care for any of that shit. But
was his name Alonzo Mourning?
But I was like, what? Why on TMZ? That was all the video was just a murder hornet killing a mouse in New York City.
I seen a video of a praying mantis just devouring a murder hornet. Like just he snatched that shit with his little arms and just started grubbing. That shit was crazy. I was like,
yeah, see?
Hey, I was
the praying mantis is one of the most underestimated insects in the whole
for
world,
sure. Last summer, actually, I released like a couple egg pods in my garden. I had them like for like the whole season.
The pictures.
Man.
These are facts.
It was pretty dope.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Little praying mantises everywhere. What does that mean? When praying mantises are around.
I want to get into Timo, man. You brought up the name, so.
What? You want to get into what?
Timo Werner, man.
Oh, okay.
Like you said, that was one of the cats you wanted to keep an eye on, and
definitely.
I feel that, you know what I'm saying. Like I want to see what he has to offer, since it sounds like he's heading to Liverpool.
I mean, if he's gonna put this jersey on, then maybe not.
That's
this
what
one.
I'm saying. I want to see how he fits on our side. You know,
he's gonna put a Nike jersey on.
Yeah, for sure. I want to see I'm trying to picture what he looks like in the starting 11. You know, like I want to see him working with the top three, with the front three, and not as like some sort of like replacement to Shaq. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Shaq is definitely gone, right? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he doesn't even play.
So like. The dude, like the way he finds space in between lines, like he's gonna work well with our number 9. You know what I'm saying? So Bobby's so selfless and so tactical. I just I want him to be a part of a big 4 rather than a part of a big 3. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think that he's interested in too. He can just those cats up top, right? Mane and Timo and Salah, and then Bobby working right here. And then just you see this 4D chess I'm playing right here with the lineup, and then like rotating Genie and Fabi in the middle, depending on the matchup. Like Hendo's just so versatile, he just covers so much ground, filling in for other players. I don't know. I want to see what that looks like, dude. Klopp's not the kind of guy to mess around too much with the front 3. Not that he's had a whole bunch of amazing options, But outside of before Coutinho, fucking Dwight Howard over here. Look at you.
You need to get yourself one of these, bro, and just start planning them tactics, man.
I see you.
Just get real tactical on them hoes.
I see you, Cabinho.
Just get Just get real tactical on them hoes.
You gotta get your tactics up. Get your tactics up. That's
Yo, Clapinho. I feel that, bro.
Yeah,
man. I want to see how that works, man. Like, Liverpool definitely gonna need to replace some depth on the wings, you know. But like I said, unless Werner is part of a big four, I'm
assuming he's coming in to be like that super sub and just as a reliever for guys that need rest. That you know, fuck it, I could sit anybody, right? I could sit anybody in the front three, right? Once you have him. I mean,
it's mostly
Origi and Origi and Werner, just the super substitutes.
I would assume Origi's probably leaving this summer.
I mean, he got that deal. He's ready to go.
I think
Let my man go.
I think he's ready to cash out. To be honest, like cash out and get a big role somewhere, because he could go to Bundesliga and ball out, bro.
I think Origi's already locked down though.
Hey. That ain't never stopped.
Like I said, man, I don't know. If you're gonna get Werner, I'd rather him to be part of the main thing than just some sub. You know, if that's the case, then I'd rather spend. It's not my money. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'd rather like spend my money pairing like Virgil with someone like with Mane's homie. What's his name?
Koulibaly.
You already know from Napoli, right?
Yeah.
Yo,
they announced that Liverpool's like at the top of the list for them.
Consistency and toughness. You know what I'm saying? Like, Joe's the man, but he can't stay healthy. And if you're gonna spend another season depending on Big Love, then I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack.
Well, I'm sure Lovren's gone this summer too. I would assume a lot of these guys are either going because one, they want play time, or two, because they're done. Their time is done here. You know, that is what it is.
Lovren's going to either Milan or Roma.
Klopp, for sure.
To Inter Milan.
No, AC Milan.
No,
you don't call it Inter Milan.
No, he's going to
Milan. Means AC Milan.
He's going to Inter.
Nah, unfortunately he's not. Lovren, we already got Skriniar over there. We got some good backs over there. I mean, the worst back we have there is actually Godin. He's just washed up. He's old. Now he just fouls everybody.
You know what?
He thinks he's Sergio Ramos.
Speaking of Serie A, something that I actually forgot, going back to Josh Sargent, Juve is looking in on him. Juve's interested. Man. So that shows you what level of talent that this kid has. I mean, if one of the biggest clubs in the world is looking in for him, then hey, sky's the limit. He's got to work hard to get there, right? Just like anybody else.
Balling out, yeah.
But you got to keep balling, keep doing his thing. Hopefully, keep Werder up from relegation.
Hey, so you said we're gonna make some picks. Is Chewy ready to get some some chickens on the line or what?
Yeah, let's
let's do some picks.
Chewy's ready to get some chickens on the line or what? Chewy?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's go. How many chickens you got?
Damn. Where the chickens at?
Where the chickens at? Show me the chickens. At least some wings, man. Chicken wings at.
Where the chickens at?
All right.
Let's get it.
Give me a second here.
All right. Well, let's run.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run through the matchups. I'm gonna call out the matchups, and you guys just make your picks, and then next Sunday we'll take a look and see what the record is.
Oh shit!
Let's do it.
I'm not gonna make no picks on this. I'm not gonna make no picks for this. This is all on. This is just between you two, the two gamblers.
Okay, you're the moderator.
The two gamblers.
All right,
well, this is a gambling.
My picks might change, during the week and before I get some more info, but
we're gonna call
information is key, son. Information is key.
Hold on. We're gonna call this segment "Get Your Chickens Up."
Get them chickens up.
Get your chickens up. Welcome to Get Your Chickens Up. Here we go.
All right.
Here we go.
So Saturday, May 16th, 2020.
Okay.
All right.
I can smell it already.
All right. So 6 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday.
He got there for sure.
And there's a Monday Night Football, right? Okay. The first matchup we have is Dortmund versus Schalke. Who you got, Chewy?
I mean, you already know who I got on this one, but I'm going to just say it out loud. BVB. Dortmund.
Yeah, PvP.
BVB.
What about you, Oscar? What you got?
Yeah, man. I mean, Dortmund's got to be heavy favorites, right? I mean, again, you wonder about training and if who's in shape and just Schalke's not going to surprise Dortmund. They'll get it rolling pretty quick, I imagine. And the rest of these picks will probably be pretty chalk, honestly.
So you guys are just gonna write off the homie Weston McKennie like that and Schalke?
Yes.
All right.
Heavy.
All right.
Yeah, heavy,
Cool.
heavy.
All right,
Weston McKennie.
Heavy lean. Sorry.
All right. Moving on. All right. The second match we got here is RB Leipzig versus Freiburg. Who you got, Oscar?
What was that team again?
Freiburg.
Captain Zoidberg. Captain Zoidberg.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna take them boys. I'm gonna take Leipzig, man. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Chewy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have to talk much on that one. I'm taking Red Bulls. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Get your wings up because, you know what I mean? Red Bull gives you wings.
So, one thing we didn't mention about the Dortmund-Schalke matchup, that's actually a derby. So, you guys still comfortable with your picks?
Yeah, heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just making sure. I just gotta make sure. I mean, I got love for my boy Weston. I already told y'all. That's my guy. That's my guy. FIFA 2020 season. All right, moving on. Hoffenheim versus Hertha Berlin.
Weston Hotel.
I'm gonna lean Hoffenheim here.
Oh, my bad. Chewy, you go first. Sorry, Oscar. Go ahead.
Oh, it's all good. He already said it. So I'm going to go Hoffenheim too, though.
All right.
Because I've never even heard of a team from Berlin. So I'm like, I'd rather go with Hasselhoff.
There's two teams from Berlin.
Yeah, there is two teams from Berlin.
And actually, there's a very good Copa 90 documentary about their rivalry that you should definitely check out.
I heard about that.
I got to check it out then.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
I didn't know about the Berlin team.
Oh, that Berlin derby is fire, homie. You better check that out. You better check that out. All right, so Hoffenheim for the both of you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Hoffenheim.
All right, next matchup is Dusseldorf versus Paderborn.
What the hell? This sounds like some Star Wars matchups.
All right. Since you went first last time, Oscar, Chewy, you give me who's your pick.
I'm going to have to go again with the one that sounds more like Hasselhoff. So I'm going to go with Dusseldorf.
That's a great strategy. That's a great strategy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Oscar, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Paderborn here, man. This is my one.
Okay. You're going with the away team. I love it.
You wonder about motivation on some teams. They're fighting for relegation. If they win this one, they really have a legit shot to make it out. It's close up top. It's close down low too.
Okay.
I think they'll take it. I looked at the betting numbers, man, and Paderborn's, the home away games. This is where I'm going. It's desperate. Chickens, bro. Chickens, son.
Yeah,
informed decisions. I like that. I love informed decisions.
Peter Paderborn. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
That's
and plus, Paderborn's fun to say. I mean,
that's an interesting word.
No, the D is nice. Pader.
I'm interested in what it means.
Paderborn.
Maybe not.
That sounds nasty.
Maybe it sounds weird.
Yeah, probably not.
That's cool.
Dirty.
That's cool. Really all right. So, moving on to the next one, we got It's the Battle of the Bergs, right? We got Augsburg versus Wolfsburg. Who y'all got?
I'm gonna wait. Who goes first?
Oh, Oscar, who you got?
You go. All right, so this is my draw here. I'm leaning Wolfsburg. They're 1 point behind Europa League qualifications, but this is a draw here.
You're calling a draw. You're picking a draw. You're picking a draw. In the Bergs derby, the Battle of the Bergs
derby is a draw, bro. If there's ever a draw, it's gonna be in the Berg derby.
Honestly,
that's super of a left field
pick.
I love
Berg.
Oh my God!
Lucky there's no Hamburg in there because that would be the ultimate winner with cheese.
Hamburger.
But this is how I feel about those. Since you're gonna draw it out, I want to go Wolfsburg too, but I was born in August, so I kind of like Augsburg a little bit.
Augsburg?
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are putting money on this.
Because it's too easy to go for Wolfsburg. I'm gonna go Augsburg, baby.
Augsburg.
That sounds for the Yoggies. We'll
Augsburg in a draw. All right, I feel it.
Totally sensible, yeah.
All right, so so we got oh man, Augsburg for Chewy and a draw in the Battle of the Berg Derby for Oscar here. All right, I'm feeling it though. I'm really feeling you guys' energy on this. I'm really feeling it.
You watch. One of us is gonna be $3.50 Richard next week.
Shit.
For sure.
That's nice.
So for the last game on Saturday, we got Frankfurt versus Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Yes.
So who you guys got?
I'm gonna take Gladbach on this one because Frankfurt was really good, but I think they lost a few key players, and they're not the same Frankfurt they were even last season. So I'm gonna go with Gladbach because Gladbach was in first place for a few weeks actually early this season. Gladbach.
Okay, Oscar, who you got?
Well, Frankfurt is definitely the same team that they were 6 weeks ago. So I'm definitely going to go with Borussia Mönchengladbach here.
There we go. Sure. Full name pronunciations. Let's go.
Okay.
All right. So let's move on to the Sunday games. There's only 2, so we should get through it fast. We got FC Cologne versus Klopp's former team, Mainz.
Well, I mean, you know where I'm going. I'm going with the German Chivas, baby.
Oh, man. Wow. Okay.
I got in his head. I got in Chewy's head now. He doesn't know which team to pick. His chickens are on the line here.
No, because either way, I never like calling anybody my mains. You know what I mean? And I do like cologne sometimes, but not really. Like, I don't really like putting chemicals on myself, so I'm like, man. But I do like Heinz ketchup sometimes and mustard.
That rhymes with Mainz.
So I'm going to go with mine.
Okay.
Yours.
Not yours. Not his.
There we go. All right. So
that is a sound decision, Chewy. That is a sound decision.
So I'm trying to make them as sound as possible.
So we got cologne and mayonnaise, right?
Yeah.
Cologne for Oscar and mayonnaise for Chewy. Got it.
On some pastrami too. Yeah.
So the last game on Sunday is Union Berlin versus Bayern. I'm pretty sure I know where you guys are going with this one.
Okay. Yeah.
We could just skip that.
I'm gonna shock the world.
Just skip that one.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
So you guys both agree that Bayern's gonna win that game, correct?
For sure.
Correct.
Okay. By how many goals then? How about that? Let's make it a little something then.
Over under 3.5 goals, Chewy.
Under.
I'm gonna go 4. And I think
goal difference. Not total goals.
I think Bayern's going to score all 4 of them.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
shit. All 4 goals, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to go under, but yeah, that shit could be a beatdown.
Okay.
That's a bad under to take, by the way, kids. Don't do
It's probably honestly 2.5 or 2 3/4. Not that makes a difference, but...
No, it's probably 3 in reality.
We'll find out right now, dude. We can...
3.5 hurts, though. At half point. But, yeah.
All right. So, the last match of the first week of football returning to our lives is on Monday. Monday Night Football. The first Monday Night Football since quarantine. Are you ready for some football? All right. So, our last matchup is Monday, May 18th, and it's Werder Bremen versus Bayer Leverkusen.
Oh, I love the pronunciation.
Who are you guys going with? Oscar, you go first.
I'm gonna go with Leverkusen by 2 goals, man. That's where I'm going with that.
By 2 now. We're not picking 2 goals.
2. I will let it be known.
Well, we don't even know what your bet is.
I am. I gotta close my bookie. That's for sure.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go with Bremen the dude. You know what I mean? Word to Bremen, baby.
Bremen
Word to Bremen.
Bremen the guy.
Okay,
Yeah,
I feel it,
dude. Yeah.
All right,
that's what I'm going with.
All right, so
that's what I feel.
Those are your guys' picks. We'll check back in next week and see who was right and who was wrong.
I think I'm gonna nail it.
I'm looking at that draw. I'm looking at that draw hard.
You watch.
Looking hard at that draw, man. I like it. I like the outside the box thinking. That's great energy. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up.
Box to box, bro. That's me. I'm your guy.
There you go.
Inside, outside.
Well,
I'm gonna take a special shot. Is this the end of the episode?
Yeah, it was about to be. Hey. You got something else?
Oh well, no. Well, let me take a shot for the end of the episode because I appreciate everybody that tuned in. This is a shot for y'all.
So, and as Willie Brown would say,
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Settle down.
Mother's Day, motherfuckers.
Hey, settle down.
Salute, homeboy. I got that hand dog right here for you.
I got that Starbucks iced tea. Holla.
This definitely wasn't just Dr. Pepper in this cup.
Whatever you got. Whatever you got.
The hand.
It is duly appreciated. You know what I mean? Some tea and biscuits.
Wow. All right. Hey, if I win, you owe me some brats, homeboy.
I'll get you some bangers and mash. You know what I mean? We'll get mash.
Bangers and mash. Oh,
we'll get mashed up. Yeah.
Bangers and mash in a Carlsberg. Call it a day.
Yeah. Yeah. Bangers and mash. Pour some Carlsberg on that mash. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and it's
man.
over. They're not ready for that. Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps up this episode of On the Moon live sessions. You guys got anything else you guys want to say?
Nah, man. Y'all be safe out there, man. I love every one of you.
Yeah. Cover up. Yeah. Cover up. Yeah. That's all I got. Sorry, guys.
Wear a mask
I love you
when
all.
you pump gas.
That's right.
Wear a mask when you pump gas. 6 feet. 6
1
6
fish,
feet away. Or
2 fish. Under. Green fish. Blue
3
fish.
feet, no pressure.
Knick knack, patty whack. Give it. No, listen.
All right, and that wraps up this episode, guys. So we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. You know how to do the thing with the little bell icon down below. Actually, down below that. No.
Oh
that way?
and also
somewhere that way.
Yeah.
Over there.
Somewhere down here.
Somewhere down there. Yeah. Go and do that, and we'll catch y'all next Sunday.
Get your bundas up. Go get your bundas up, and please get your chickens up. Please get your chickens up because we're gonna be taking picks from listeners too soon. If you guys want to join in, get your chickens up.
Get their chickens up. All right, and that's it. We're out. We're out of here.